ahead and start the meeting? Okay,
Okay,
so we're gonna call in to Stevens, just so they'll be on the phone in case we have any questions about the insurance, what's going on with it. So it's come to our attention. Kelly emailed out the letter that Stevens had sent to us. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to take a look at that. And basically, and I'll let you jump in anytime you want to. So several years ago, if you remember correctly, when we were talking about the insurance and we were going back to Stevens, they felt that they had found something, during the Trump administration that would allow the county to pay the supplement with Medicare. And so at that time, we decided to anybody that would that had the eligibility to go onto Medicare would do that, and then the county would pay $400 toward a supplement. So Stevens notified us in the latter part of December that that is no longer the case. And to be honest, it's no longer the case. So we're going to do a little bit more research, and if that was ever the case, but we are going to go forward here knowing from the advice of Stevens and their attorney and Eddie Jones from the Association of Counties that that is no longer a possibility for us to code that money as insurance premiums. Now, what we can do, so the way that it was set up before, you want to tell that part how? So before it came through one company, right?
Yes. The CAS company, Consolidated Admin Services, for handling our HR accounts.
So they handle that. So what I guess the county paid them, and then they dispersed that money to each individual that was on Medicare with their supplement, and then that individual was responsible for paying their own premium. So everybody was already responsible for paying theirs. It wasn't like that it was being paid through some other way. So that's where the discussion kind of needs to talk today. There are a couple of options. So we could put that money, we could continue to disperse that money to the employees through payroll. However, it would be taxed. Okay, so
the issue isn't that we can't pay it. It's the issue is it's the pre-tax is what's the issue, correct? I mean, it's the way we've been paying it is what the problem is.
Right. That's correct. Yes.
For employees.
Yes. Yes. Tax free.
So we're only talking about it costing the county Social Security and Medicare, but it's going to cost and retirement. But it's going to cost, that difference is going to cost the employee federal and state taxes in addition to Social Security and Medicare. Plus retirement on that part. Their retirement. Gotcha.
So
I mean, if there's no way around it, what's the discussion? I mean, if we can't do it, we can't do it, right?
For one thing, I hate Stevens.
I mean, right.
They're giving us some terrible advice.
Sounds like it.
When
So
they
they're
first
the ones
came
that
with
told
this,
us we could do it this way.
That's right. Then we got 27 of us that went off on that.
Okay.
So the end result is going to be, it's going to cost the county more money now. If we look at it like I think we should, the employees are getting a net $400 a month max. That's the cap.
Right.
So if we just keep doing it, it's still going to cost us on the Social Security, tax, Medicare, all the other stuff.
Right.
Plus, now that it's going to either lower the amount that the employee gets because of the taxes they'll pay, or we're going to have to increase even
what we
more.
give them.
So it's going to cost the county additional money, one way or the other.
Right.
And then the ones that it's truly impacting, you're looking at two of us right here.
I get that.
JPs are maxed out at how much we can be compensated.
Right.
but we were also getting our insurance paid for. We were on county health insurance, which has been determined by the courts as a viable benefit to be offered to justices of peace. But because of what Stevens told us, we joined the other employees in good faith and got off the county insurance and onto Medicare.
Right.
And the county's been reimbursing that, and now then, because of our total compensation matters,
I'm following you. That
now then,
costs-
it's gonna cost people like Neil and I an additional
Right.
$4,800 out of our pocket
Right, I get that.
that we can't be reimbursed for, at least, I haven't figured out a way yet.
Well, okay,
So, okay, so here's our options. Go.
okay, so, and I do apologize for, I guess I should have started this so we did make some phone calls today, Kelly did, and we're not 100% sure on this, so it's gonna take us a little bit more investigation, but Eddie Jones did say that there is another, a possibility that
Who is Eddie Jones?
he is a
He's an
representative
consultant.
from, the Association of Counties.
Okay, thank you.
So he said that we could set up some other type of compensation, that would not be like
Like a
payroll.
like a cafeteria plan, maybe?
It's called cash in lieu of benefits program.
Okay.
That we would need an attorney to kind of set this up for us. My question was, so would this apply to the JPs as well? And we have not gotten an answer back. If this, I mean, and it may be that we need to go this route anyway. It would be a little bit, more cumbersome on the front end, but at the end, nobody, the taxes and everything else, I think are not, you won't have to pay. We won't have
Oh,
to
the
do it.
employees wouldn't have to pay?
Mhm.
Oh, well, that would be
Oh, so it would still
better.
be pre-tax, so that option would still be pre-tax? I would think so.
It's just not considered compensation, regular compensation. It's considered a different type of program, so
Like,
you can get it differently.
compensation.
Would it be like a cafeteria?
Well,
Yes.
Okay. Hey,
Right,
you
okay.
know what a cafeteria
Okay.
plan is, basically, we would be able to pay them and they would not be taxed on it.
Right, that's what I
And it
said.
wouldn't show up on their W-2 at the end of the year.
Right, that's why, that's,
So,
So, again, I apologize for not having all of the answers. This kind of just came to us.
Yeah, but we're back to Stevens now, so they gave us the bad advice. Then they didn't mind coming back and telling us that we can't do that, but
That we-
apparently, why didn't they come up with this? option?
right, they gave us no alternate solution.
No, they
for
just
fixing
said
the site.
something. They really did, yeah.
They just,
Well, here's another thing that comes into play. I don't know how many we have now, but if y'all remember, we had no increase in our insurance.
That's right, yes.
If we put everybody back on the county's insurance, 12, 15, whatever, it was,
27.
all of those
Initially.
claims are gonna go against our insurance rather than against Medicare.
Yes.
Right,
That's a lot more important than whether Neil Bird's or
Yes.
my,
Well-
he can't speak for my.
Just in my, in my thought, just during the discussion here, I don't really think that's an option. I feel like we need to work through how we're actually going to give
fix it.
fix
Right.
it, whether it's to add the additional benefits on top of the 400, to cap it at 400, to see about, the cafeteria-like plan, exactly what we can do. That to me, it seems to be the only option that makes sense.
the other, what I was gonna say before, if that option didn't work, would it be possible for the JPs to be handled one way and the other employees to be handled differently?
Well,
I mean, they could go back on, the JPs could go back on the insurance, and then you're only talking about the U2, or is there?
Yeah, I never went
Is there any
on.
other
I was
JPs,
fixing to
Kelly,
get
that
over
are
on it
just
on-
like the
Just
In
you
February.
and Justice Park.
There's how many?
Just you. The
Just me
JPs
and him.
are
Well,
so-
So we would only
Yes,
talk
sir.
about picking up y'all's claims.
Well,
then I
I
would
never
be
went
over on
on
it
it,
in
and I'll tell
February.
you why, there's a little trick in there that's involved too. I never went on it when I came on the course, I was already on Medicare. But under Medicare rules, if you select regular Medicare and a Medicare supplement, you have so many days after you're Medicare eligible to select the supplement. No questions asked. Pre-existing conditions or anything like that. But if you ever drop that supplement and go back and try to get another supplement, they can check your medical history and all that other stuff.
Okay, gotcha,
I never went on it simply because I didn't want to take that chance.
gotcha.
So that's another thing you have to watch.
Well,
too.
and just one other thing, and certainly not putting words in your mouth or anyone else's, but the Medicare, with a supplement is really good.
It's, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Y'all all know the stuff I've been through in the past year.
Right.
I have not gotten one deal.
Well, and one of the other, employees that's on Medicare, mentioned that to me as well. She said, I mean, I really don't wanna have to pay for it, but if I do, she said, I mean, this is unbelievable.
Here's your question also to throw at Stevens. Can they not write a Medicare supplement through Blue Cross Blue Shield, whatever companies they represent, that would be a Medicare supplement that we could pay as insurance for just the JPs? Because the rest of them we could do, if we can do this cafeteria, or if this plan will work for the JPs, continue to do it that same way.
Yeah, we're past open enrollment as far as 22 goes.
Well, I think, and that's one of the things that I think we should, given,
They
It's a terrible
notified us
time.
December the 20th,
Yeah.
and said, you gotta quit in 10 days.
Yeah.
Well, that's bull.
and open enrollment was already,
It's
It's
just
just
7 of them.
One bad piece of advice after another, as far as I
so
can see.
that was, yes, I agree with that. And really, is that, I mean,
Sounds like the Eddie Jones possible option may be the best one to pursue.
Yes.
If we can get that.
Eddie knows his business.
Because in the future, we're gonna have other employees that are gonna be
That's right, well, Betty
retiring.
said, Betty
Right,
said
I'm
February.
supposed to in February.
Other, you know,
I'm supposed to.
Well, and if they write us a policy, then that would not be, still wouldn't apply to, just first and just white, because you can't change your supplement, right?
Not at this point,
No.
not for 22.
not till next
October
November,
15th.
October.
But I thought if you
That sounds
change,
like
then they
Eddie's
look at
option
your
would be
medical
the best.
If you ever drop it,
Oh, drop it,
If
okay,
you
use
drop
it,
it and
change.
You're on it and then drop.
Switch.
then they can come back and
I
up
see,
the new
okay,
one.
okay.
There's a
Like
penalty,
Eddie, I
there's a
don't know.
lifetime penalty that you have to pay if you don't have that supplement. I wouldn't even looking at it.
So we got a little time pressure here.
That's reasonable.
They notified us on December the 20th that they wanted us to stop at December the 31st. And quite honestly, Peggy and Kelly called me and said, what are you thinking? I said, we don't have time to react. We had just had our regular December meeting 2 days prior. And then they called us on a Thursday and said, you gotta stop this. Well, we can't do that to everybody. So I told them, I asked Kelly and Peggy to notify Stevens, no, we're not doing that. We're gonna extend it at least one more month into January and give the court time to react and figure out a plan. So we need to move expeditiously or request, that was just
Yeah.
a reminder, or request an additional 1 more month extension or something. So we need to be moving.
Right. Go ahead.
I'm not on your committee, but what I'd like to recommend today is that you table this. We continue to investigate this and maybe meet back in a week so that you have more time to get the answers that we need to make a decision.
We have finance committee
That's what I
Tuesday,
was
and the
gonna
day
do.
after that.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
really,
not
we need to do
saying
it
not do anything with
But
it.
I don't know if it, well,
Monday's a holiday.
oh, that's right. Oh, okay, but, and we can talk about that after finance, but we also need to think about if we do have, if this is a viable option, we will need an attorney to help set this up, and that could possibly take a little bit of time. So, in the meantime, it may take, I have no
We're
idea.
gonna have to ask.
We're halfway
We're gonna
through
have
the
to ask
month.
forgiveness.
Oh,
from
and
the
we're
plan
definitely,
price.
I don't see us, I mean,
Yeah.
I really, to set some, if this is a viable option, and we're halfway, I don't see us getting this done before February 1.
The trick to part of that is, if we need an attorney, we might ask Eddie Jones if another county has set this up already. Because they may have a template for it. And they may, all we might have to do is change the name of the counties.
Right.
That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie's done great things for us. I realize you don't know who he is, but he has done several things.
In every office.
And
Yes.
like Rick said, but if we run into a roadblock there, we might ask, what's our new attorney?
Jake,
Jake, to contact Eddie Jones and impress on Jake.
I'd almost rather.
Eddie's rather deal with you.
That's the thing to do.
I like Jacob, but Jacob's got a lot on his plate,
Yeah.
and it could easily slide off on the floor.
they might have somebody, an attorney for the AAC that's already written this stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we.
Right.
Eddie can direct us in the right
Right.
direction, but we just need, who's gonna contact Eddie,
So we
And
just
I'd
got that
recommend
information today.
financial management.
Kelly just got that information today, so they hadn't had a chance to ask.
No, we started, we started this ball rolling just a little later than what I probably should have. Because
You
I
didn't
was,
get it till just the other day.
no, I know, but and it started really just with the thought of, the JPs, so we're kind of losing on that deal.
Right.
So you're asking, so we're asking us to go back to, either to go back to the original insurance, or the county insurance versus the supplement, which is past open enrollment, or we're asking them to pay out of pocket, which is, $5,000 a year. So, that's where the discussion started, was what could we do, what could we do with them, was there any possibilities of anything? And I said, what happens if we just keep on going? And so, so there's a couple of things in there, and when she talked to Mr. Jones, I guess it really kind of made him start thinking about any type of options, what else could there be, and he came up with, this might be an option.
So did you leave it in the fact that he's going to be looking into that, or are we supposed and find out if it is an
Yes,
option?
the last question that we asked was, could that apply to the JPs? And that's where we are currently.
So, Mr. Chairman, I made an executive command decision last month and took it on my own responsibility to say, let's extend it a month. I'd like to share that responsibility this month.
Take that to the check.
What do you and the financial management department feel about, do we need to extend that another month, or do we take that risk, or what do we do?
That's, who's on the only two options that I could possibly see is that we take the risk and extend it another month, or we just simply, do a taxed bonus to the people that are on there, and
Kelly, you got an opinion?
until we can figure it out.
I don't honestly know if they will continue it. That's one thing we'll have to say or ask. The CAS is gonna be held responsible too, so we'll have to ask about that. And I do think it is an option for us to do the bonus, or not, it's not really a bonus, but it's just additional compensation for those employees, which the JPs would have to be left out of that. We could.
A month or two's not gonna kill Neil and I. We just wanna make the best route
reimbursed.
for the county and the employees particularly.
And the only other option I could think of is maybe just putting, stopping the HRA for CAS and putting everything on hold until we find out about this cash and lieu and benefits program. And it may be that it takes a couple months, but then we could go back and reimburse everybody maybe for the months that we got behind.
So how many employees do you think we have on this program?
It's about 15.
So we're gonna be asking 15 employees to be out $400 a month till we get it fixed.
Yeah, that's what I worry about, is that they're used to this income.
I don't think that's an option.
I don't either.
So why don't we just stop the payments that we're making and make the $400 up out of the county? in whatever best way, and you can bring it to finance Monday if you want to, if you can kind of figure out what we need to do for those employees, and we can address that in finance Monday, if that's okay.
No, I think that's,
And then,
Maybe
and then
insurance
let
is a name
your,
before finance.
let this insurance committee, of which I'm not a member,
Okay, good, right now, I feel,
move
Monday.
forward with Eddie Jones and the potential of setting up this other type of account.
and I feel bad.
they might have an answer for that
Oh,
before
I-
Tuesday,
I
before
really-
finance, if you do it
yeah.
before finance, you might have an answer, and there might not even be an issue.
I feel like we will have an answer. He has gotten
You might be
a
right.
lot of information just in the last few couple of hours. So I feel like by, Tuesday, is that right?
Yes, Tuesday.
Tuesday, we'll probably have a clear path.
Tuesday, 1:30 back here.
Usually Eddie can answer a question very quickly. Most I've seen take about 24 hours. Because
He's a
when he starts
resource,
something,
he's a wealth of information, he is, and reliable.
So,
Sounds like you got a plan, Chairman.
All right, so
Chairwoman.
is there, do I have a motion?
Motion, yes, motion to table it till Tuesday, and then, come up with whatever we need to, and go from there.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any further discussion? All right.
Well handled.
I have a question. So we need to set up a meeting Tuesday for insurance. Do you want it like 12:30, 1 o'clock?
Well, do you guys think we need to have a separate insurance meeting, or do you think we can handle this part of it in finance?
It's up to y'all.
It's gonna have to go to finance, whatever we go with. But we pretty well all think the same.
Okay.
I mean, technically, you need to look at your insurance, make sure that you've got something. Why don't you,
Okay.
would you be opposed to allowing them to start at 1:30 and then the finance immediately to follow?
I'm not opposed to anything,
Well, I know you're so hard to get along.
except skipping supper.
Or we can start at 1,
I'm
can't we?
opposed to that.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's,
or we can start at 1.
insurance at 1:30. 1:30,
We're gonna start at 1 instead of 1:30?
no, 1:30,
Okay.
and then we'll just do finance.
Remember, it's Tuesday, not Monday.
And it ain't gonna
We got
take
holiday.
5
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
That's right, so,
Yeah.
excuse me, we had a question.
I'm wondering, okay, if, you guys went and got insurance, and they reneged on you guys, and y'all have to pay so much money back to your employees, how would they pay for the things they done by betraying you guys? Like, how they gonna pay you guys back, by doing that? You give us all these good ideas, and then all of a sudden, you renege on us, now we gotta tell our employees all this stuff. So, what you gonna go from there? I know it's one.
I feel like what she's asking is
Yeah.
kind of, is maybe what, Justice White's been saying, we feel like we've
Somebody
gotten
has
some
to-
bad advice, and,
Yeah.
is there, what is Stephen
And
saying
they
about
don't
the
like
fact that they gave us this bad advice, and then they didn't really figure it out until the 11th hour, and now they're and it's
And offer
really,
no alternative options.
no, it hasn't offered anything.
But we're gonna take care of the employees.
Okay,
We will get the employee.
Yeah.
Make sure they take care of it. That's our priority.
I just think it needs to certainly be duly noted when it comes time to find new plans, that we need to look at some other options besides Stevens.
I think so.
Agreed.
Do I hear anything else?
I have a
Did
question.
y'all know my opinion?
I have a question that doesn't involve this particular, have we got an update on painless claims? Because I have had someone call me and some of the people are still receiving notices that they're gonna be turned over to collection agencies.
Well, okay, so here is one thing that I feel, no, to answer the short and sweet, no, we have not. We have no update. However, if there is an employee that has, they can go and pay it and then be reimbursed as long as it's on the list of reimbursements.
Let me explain why these are coming up.
Okay?
Now, I'm gonna give you an example. And I'm not gonna use names, I'm just gonna say, this particular person had got $12,000 worth of bills. Well, then they called and they found out that 2 of them were paid, but they still owed $3,000.
Okay.
And they're calling on a regular basis now to check them. I couldn't write a check for $12,000.
You
And
said,
most of our employees could
did you
be.
say 12 or 3?
now he owes $3,000.
So, okay, well,
And it's to the point they're turning over to a collection agency, so they're not willing to negotiate with and allow a payment.
well, exactly. However, I do think in an instance like that, if he could pay the claim and it's listed on the claims that are to be paid, I'm sure
Then he would get reimbursed.
and we
If
could
he had
probably do
$3,000.
that, well, we could probably do that a little, you know,
Quicker.
yeah. To where we're not, you know, where there's not really, he's not really coming up.
Be the check in the bank.
Yeah, you know, a little bit, you know.
So we could do, okay. We'll
And I'm
mention
just
that.
saying that, I don't know if that's really, I mean,
No, that's pretty much how it works. So
Yeah.
we make sure that the claim is on the list, and then we just ask for proof that they paid it and that it was applied, and the doctor's office they'll send it to us just like that. And then we just reimburse them.
Okay, no, I'll talk to the person that called.
I just kidding.
because that seems.
I just wrote checks at my jobs.
That was my understanding, yeah.
But I think one thing that we have to make sure of, you know, before all of it happens, or maybe before they pay it, is that like that remaining 3,000 or whatever that dollar amount is actually on the list of reimbursable expenses.
So
So
they
if
can
you have,
contact you and find out.
because if, let's say I had a bill of, I don't know, 3,000, and it's not on the list, well, you can't, I don't think there's any way we could ask Kelly to reimburse that if it's not on the
No,
list
I
of.
agree, but you know, we need to start trying to check and see.
Right, okay, so yes, I would hope that we would be able to do that, since it's taken this long, that we could make that a quick transaction to where they would feel comfortable paying it and we would reimburse quickly. So, okay,
Good job.
anything else?
No.
All right, then I will adjourn the meeting.
Thank you for coming.
Good job.